I'm saying to myself, why would you do it? If you take that ship and turn it lengthwise, at that point, there's most probably not even, you're just about touching nose to nose on either shore.
About 1,000 feet.
I would really question the sense of just that one point. That's a bottleneck. Why would you bring that kind of a ship through there and run that risk?
The additional thing, which, you know, it's what these leaders have, which is vision. You need vision, right? Is it's just how you pictured it. You always have to try to picture, and we generated it, is this, as soon as this 2 mile off the bow hits, it shuts down these waterways. And then you got to picture this red exclusion zone going all the way up. And so from the moment it strikes probably here, there's no boat going out to the ocean, at least along that way, which is really to your point, but then picture it coming up. At some point then it comes in here and it shuts down the entire harbor. No boats going north, no boats getting out. You know, you can see your Jamestown harbor. So I know folks have vision in this room, but you have to picture this traveling along with the ship slowly up the entire path.
Yeah. Representative Peter Martin from the great city of Newport, welcome.
Thank you very much. Glad you're having this forum. Brief introduction, I happen to have been the chairman of the Aquidneck Island Planning Commission when we were commissioned those 2 studies. And one of the things that I was adamant about was that those studies were not slanted in any direction whatsoever, and that those studies are pretty independent. They were done by people who didn't have an agenda. And I would ask people if they ever want to debate that issue with me. I'd be happy to discuss it with them. But that was long before I even had the thought of running to fill an empty seat in the House of Representatives. I want everybody to know that those traffic studies are available on the AIPC website, and they can get to that. That's aquidneckplanning.org. The other thing is, I've been on I'm not a swimmer, but I happened to be rowing a boat for somebody who was swimming during the Save the Bay race many years ago, and a ship came by, and it ended the race. It interrupted the race. And I thought, what chaos that one ship caused to all the swimmers. I can just imagine what it would do to the boaters. And then I wanted to ask the Attorney General, if you know or somebody else knows, when you have an offshore facility, how do they get the LNG from that offshore facility onto the land?
I don't know where I put that map, but on the map that I have of the facility off of Gloucester, it actually depicts the pipe in the purple line if you come up and look at it afterwards. So they had to lay a pipe out there to access it.
But it's already been gasified.
Sure. That's right.
Right.
They gasify, it turned from liquid to a gas on the ship in the case of the Gloucester offshore terminal, and put the gas into the pipeline. In the case of Weaver Cove, the proposal is to put liquefied natural gas into a pipeline and to gasify it at a shore-based facility in Fall River.
Thank you.
So it would be super cool in this pipe, inside of the pipe, with cryogenic, in a cryogenic fashion.
Which has heightened the whole concern in the discussion about DOT and the use of the pipe or the pipe in pipe. Is that the right technology?
And it hasn't been tested before, correct?
Well, the longest pipe in existence that we know of right now that's cryogenic with the pipe in pipe technology is about 1.25 miles long. So this goes 4.25 miles.
Correct.
So it's, I mean, by the company's own admission and their testimony and remarks they've made, they're not sure how this is going to play out, actually.
Also,
So
did you have a question about Ted?
Yeah, we'd be happy to work with the Aquidneck Island Planning Commission on those studies. Those studies were never submitted into the federal record. We'd encourage you to do that.
Sure.
They were inserted into the federal record after the federal record closed and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued their decision. so they were not acted on by the commission. But there's an opportunity now for you to submit them, and I would encourage you to do that again.
Sir, I'm no longer with the commission, but there are a lot of, one of the people that are there that have taken up where I left off, and I'm sure that they'd be happy to do that.
We'd be happy to work with them. I worked very closely with Tina Dolan when those studies were coming out, and we left them with a series of questions that have not yet been answered, and we would love to work with the commission on those studies.
Thank you. We'll be happy to answer your questions.
Yes, we'll take
Sure.
a couple more questions, and then people can maybe enjoy some coffee and also talk with everyone and mingle. Bob Bowen?
Bob Bowen, I'm also the town council with Ellen, not related, but we're still the town. One of the questions I have, well, the overarching question I have is why aren't they doing it offshore? Maybe it's just money, I don't know, but it just seems to be, and you said it really well, this isn't a NIMBY thing, this is our front yard here that they're coming into. I'd like to see, or at least get some advice as to what kind of steps we can take. We've done two things here in the town council. Recently, we formed an advisory committee with the town council to start doing fact finding and give us some advice and direction we can take. We've also, just today, sent out letters to every town council rep for the whole, all of Newport County to convene a Congress of Councils to try to get us all together on the same page to say what are we going to do. We're going to try to do that in mid-June. What are the other steps that we can do here? Because, you know, we really want to see it stop and see them take their proposal somewhere offshore. We're not against LNG, and we just want to say, what else can we do?
Well, I think the fight's long from over. And Save the Day at this point has been the mechanism that has taken in the money and hired the lawyers, hired the experts, and I think we need to continue to do that. We really need to aggressively find people who are passionate about this and get them the money to fight the big pockets, the deep pockets at Weaver Cove. The other thing we can do is not buy as oil or has products. I mean, I can't in good conscience buy the product. If they're going to demonstrate this sort of irresponsible human behavior.
It's insulting. It's not just irresponsible. It seems to be outright insulting in our face.
Let me, if I can, also just make it, you know, having been in this now for probably 6 years or so, at least it seems, I'm thrilled that good folks like you come out, because with all due respect, and again, these are fine gentlemen in the back doing their job, but, and this is about them personally, but about the industry itself, they're relentless.